Greetings, travelers. Welcome to the second episode of our modded survival series. Last episode, we got started on a rice paddy village, and this episode, we're going to move in, expand the village, and get started on some automation. So, I was about to do this opening segment talking about all the work I've done decorating the village chief's house and adding this natural barrier through this cobblestone and the plants and this bamboo when it looks like the village chief's house has been taken by force from us, so we're gonna have to come deal with these guys. I created this wall around the outside, but it doesn't seem like it's done any good because we have a whole set of villagers here. I still have the diamond sword from last time and some iron armor, so I'm not feeling too scared of them, but some of them have armor and enchanted crossbows, so this could get a little bit dicey, but I think we're just gonna actually, let's instead of charging right through, or should we? How do we want to approach this? As you can see from my enchanted levels, I did die again recently to a bear, so I'm not too scared of losing what I have. I can always come get it back, so I think we're just gonna charge in and see what we can do. Let's put bread right here so that we can access it easily, and let's see if we could get this guy out of the way first. Let's go. Charging in, see if we can do some crits. Oop, one got hit. That's one down. Not taking too much damage, fortunately. Let's stop jumping, that'll make it easier. Get the flag guy, there we go. Alright, this is actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. There we go. Nice. Okay, so welcome back. Looking into this yard here, we have a bunch of arrows all over the ground now. At least we got some emeralds out of it. But I built a custom oak tree to overlook this yard, add some shade, and I think it balances out the house really nicely because I did build it slightly off center because the main door here, which leads down the path, is on the left side of the building, so it's not actually in the middle of this sort of circular platform that we created. So on the left side here, we have the custom oak tree in a little yard with little gaps in the fence so that you could peek through and see the decoration inside. Coming over this way, we have a pile of logs, which I imagine would be used to light the fireplace. Obviously, the village chief wouldn't want to have to go out of their way to get logs for the fireplace or whatever they need to do. So, bunch stored right here. And we also have a nice little well, which actually serves a dual purpose. One, it looks great for decoration and it figures in nicely to having these little cauldrons over here, but then also you can actually go down it and have access to the area below. Now in the area below, we're going to be putting a bunch of automatic farms hidden from view that'll send the items upward into houses and other buildings in the village. And the reason I'm doing this is because, as we said last time, I'm preparing to sleep using my sleeping bag. As we said last time, this village is fairly low tech, so having a bunch of automatic farms wouldn't be something that would make sense within the world that we're creating right now. So we're going to keep those hidden from view while still benefiting from the time we'll save from them. As we go down this path here, you can see the expansion that I built. So this platform here is where all those other buildings and houses are going to be. So it fills up the village nicely. And the idea is that beyond this is going to be the rice paddy field. So we're going to get started on that today. But I'm really happy with how the village chief's house has turned out after some decoration. There's still more to do because I still have some like blank spots here. So I want to do some more texturing on the ground with various materials. And once we have candles, I'm going to be putting candles along this wall here to add more lighting. But it looks so much better than it did last time. The bamboo adds a nice little sort of semi-natural barrier in that some things are hidden from view just a tiny bit, but overall it feels more private, if that makes sense. Um, Coming inside the building, I've started working on the floor, but still got some more work to do. We're going to be doing decoration tonight, but the floor in here is made of two blocks. Obviously, we have spruce logs, and then we have these straw bales, which are actually created um, from rice. And so when you cut up rice in the Farmer's Delight mod, you get the rice grains, and then you get this straw, which you can create to this really nice looking block. And since this is a rice paddy village, it does make sense that the floors would be using a byproduct of their main good that they create, right? So this is what it's looking like so far. Later on in the episode, when we decorate the interior of this and move in, we're going to make sure that that floor is completely done. But otherwise, in the next clip, I'm probably going to go do some mining because, as you can see, the pickaxe is almost broken. As I said, I unfortunately died, so I need to get all those levels back. So let's go do some mining, get some extra resources, and we'll catch you back up when we're going to be doing some enchanting and getting ready for our next steps. With that said, see you soon! With that mining completed, let's do some enchanting. Something I forgot to mention is in between episodes I did do a bunch of enchanting, so we ended up having a Fortune 3 pick, which has been really helpful. We also have an Unbreaking 3 pick here, but that's pretty slow, so hopefully we could get something faster. But as you can see, our main pick here is pretty close to breaking, so hopefully we could get something good. Let's throw that in. Alright, we can see efficiency 4, which is good. If it's just efficiency 4, we can maybe combine it with this one. Okay, it is. So maybe I'll create an anvil and I'll combine these two together and we'll have a decent pick, or maybe I'll throw this on this one so it repairs it and has efficiency 5. But yep, that's pretty good for the moment. When we get to level 30, maybe we'll enchant some more. There's a couple things around here that I want to show you. Starting off here, what we have here is the most janky ad hoc immersive engineering setup that could possibly be created. I just needed to set up a few garden cloches, which are, I don't know how to pronounce that, garden cloche, I assume. It's spelled like this, cloche, like that. Anyway, the most janky setup, all I needed is for it to be creating some rice because we're going to need quite a bit both for the buildings and for the surrounding rice fields. So this isn't going to be permanent by any means, but I did want to acknowledge it and show it to you guys. I also could not find any normal cows, but I did end up finding a mushroom biome all the way over here. And so I was able to bring back a few of these cows and breed them up for leather, which has been helpful, but hopefully we can find some normal cows at some point too. Lastly, last episode we created this map here on the left of the area before we did anything to it, and I took a second just now to create another map showing our progress so far. So there's 3 areas that have changed a lot. We have right here where I've cleared the land and gotten rid of a lot of the grass. We have the main building right here surrounded by the lower level of the green pancake. And then we have this exposed rock here, which is going to disappear. I was just lowering what was like a hill there and using the dirt for our terraforming. But quite a bit of difference in just 2 episodes, so pretty cool to see. I'll probably keep doing that as we make changes to the area. Might not be every episode, but definitely cool to watch. Alright, so with that said, what we're going to do now is, if we're going to decorate the main house, we're definitely going to need candles. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a house for a beekeeper and their family. And underneath it is going to be an automatic bee farm. So I'm going to gather the final materials we need for that, and we'll jump into a time lapse. Let's go! And we're back. So it's actually been a moment since I recorded that time lapse. I ended up getting COVID-19 and that took me out of commission for a bit, so I haven't been able to record, but I'm really happy to be back and ready to share some stuff with you guys. So starting off, here we have it, the beekeeper's house. I've gone ahead and added the vegetation to integrate it better into the landscape. And starting off here at the front, we have a little market stall where the beekeeper and their family sell their wares, starting off with some honeycombs. And once we have the resources for it, we're going to also sell a bunch of honey related food like honey apples, honey bread, and honey glazed pork chops. So, going to be a cool little market stall here. Coming around the right side, we have a little archway that leads to the backyard. We have these vats of honey and these beehives or bee houses that is used by the beekeeper. Over here, we're going to have, oh, you can actually hear the automatic farm under us. Over here, we're going to have some pigs, which are going to be used for the honey glazed pork. And as we come inside, we unfortunately don't have an interior yet, but what we do have is this cupboard right here, which is being slowly filled by honeycombs from the automatic farm below. So let's go take a look at that and see what we have. Close the door behind us. So in this stone pillar we have here, which I added to vary up the terrain a little bit, and we're going to be adding a bunch of other things and changes in height variation and various custom trees like the oak and such. But in here we actually have a secret door using the frames mod. And inside here we have a bunch of very disorganized chests full of random materials that are going to stay in here for the time being. But if we come down this water chute, we have our automatic bee farm. So over here on the right, you have the beehives. The bees come out and get the flowers, and then the honey gets sent up this conveyor belt directly into the cupboard above. So nicely hidden out of sight and well suited for our needs. Oh, there you can see the bees coming out. And then right here, one thing I created while I had COVID was a temporary automatic sugarcane farm. So this is just going to help us accrue some sugarcane, but eventually we'll probably replace it with something bigger. For now, this will just stay here for the moment. Let's go back up the water stream to show some of the other stuff we've done. Close that off. Alright, so as we come through here, I've begun putting candles using the honeycombs we now have on the little stone wall surrounding the house. It's rather unfortunate that candles only light up when you get very close to them. It would be really nice if they lit up from farther away, but for now this will do. But they fit really nicely on our fences and walls, so I think they look good. One thing I didn't get a chance to show you but was in place before the time lapse is this little garden we have here. We have tomatoes, beetroots, carrots, potatoes, cabbage, and onions, which I've been slowly gathering and putting in this barrel, which will form a nice little food source. We can make some nice food with that later on. Now, if we come around here and go into the house, I've started work on the interior. What we have here is 3 floors, starting here on the bottom with these pillars and a little opening to see through the middle. These maps are going to be moved eventually. This is only a temporary spot that's a little more safe than outside. But as we come to this side right here, what I want to put right here is the village chief's sort of, not throne, but their chair. So whenever they're having a meeting or a reception or having people give them petitions, this is where they're going to meet with them. So we'll create that later. So we come up the stairs, we have a bit of a storage area. I kept it disorganized like this because I didn't think a row of chests would look very good or be very realistic. But it does mean that we have that stone pillar filled with random goods because I can't fit everything in here. Though I can add some more chests over there, so I'll probably end up doing that. But we have our different materials organized around here, which is going well so far. And then lastly, we have the 3rd floor up here, which gives us access to the balconies. Look at that beautiful view. It's going to look wonderful. But still lots of work to be done on the interior. I just wanted to give you guys a status update. So moving on, last time we talked, there were a bunch of things over here where I said we're going to build the quarry. Those things have all been moved. And so let's take a look at what I've done so far. You can see it from here, I've begun to dig out the quarry, and it'll become more apparent as we get closer, but the idea is that we're going to have a tiered quarry. So it's going to go down 2 blocks, go inward a bit, down 2 blocks, inward a bit, and down 2 blocks, and so on. And it'll give a really nice tiered look, and you'll see what I mean by that as we get closer here. So I've dug everything down 2 blocks, and then what's going to happen is we're going to have like a 3 or 4 block lip around the edge, which you can see over here. And this will go down 2 blocks, then out, and then down. And so it'll look really cool. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to replace all this random assortment of blocks, because it looks terrible, with this white marble. And so you're probably thinking, why would this village right here have a marble quarry? That doesn't make sense because they're not building with marble, right? The answer is yes, they are not building with marble. But what we're going to do is we're going to integrate this into our lore of the area. Somewhere nearby, we're going to build another village, town, structure, whatever, that's going to make heavy use of this marble because it's a really nice block. And the idea will be that this village will trade their marble with that place and ship it over there in return for other goods that they need. So that's what we're going to do with that. And I think it's going to look really nice and contrast really well with the surrounding area. So with that all said, what are we going to do next? Well, down there in our mine, we have a bunch of boxes filled with minerals, and it's rather annoying to take them inventory by inventory up to the surface. So we're going to take a page from Mumbo Jumbo's book, and we're going to create a way of quickly sending all the materials we get from the mine below up to the surface, and have a bit of a storage shed up here for all those minerals and raw resources which we could use elsewhere. So that's next. So what I need to do is first sleep, and then I need to get some better tools worked out, because right now we're just using an Unbreaky 3 diamond pickaxe, which is really not suited for digging this out. So we're going to get that sorted and get some mining done and transform this place a bit before creating a system of getting all the stuff up from down there. So with that said, sorry for the delay, glad to be back and recording, and let's get the rest of this progress cracked out. See you soon. And we're back with a quick update here. The quarry has been dug out, and wow, does it look terrible. A truly random assortment of blocks, but what we're going to do is we're going to replace all of them with a nice even marble and some other little details here. As you can see though, we have the tiered structure going down a couple, then down 3, then down 3. And I think it looks structurally really nice, but we got some work to do, so let's jump right into that and get this all transformed so that we can start adding some structures and other useful bits and bobs. See you then. been transformed. After the time lapse, I went ahead and added a little bit of detailing, starting with the speleothems that are added by the quartz mod. You can see them here. Not sure if I'm pronouncing them correctly, but they add a little bit of a natural formation, although perhaps they would have all been mined away, but I think they look great. And then I also added these amethyst geodes in the mod pack we have right now. You can actually create these blocks that grow the amethyst shards, so that's really helpful. We have one there, and then one over here. I'm thinking about adding some bigger ones as well, so let me know what you think about this, if you think that's a good detail or not. We still got a few chests around that I need to clean up, but we also have this, and I'm going to give you a peek at what that does. If we fall down into oh, well, that was unexpected. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. We have water there, so did I fall in the chest? Alright, give me a second. I will be right back. Let me go get my stuff. Alright, let's try this again. If we fall down in the water here, I'm really not sure what happened there. Like, we didn't fall on these chests or anything. We fell right in the water, but I guess maybe we somehow caught the lip right here of this block. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because although there's dirt is here, that's only there because of the gravestone. But I guess so much for all the levels I worked to get. But anyway, back on track. What we have down here needs to be fully set up is we have a system like this with in here we have a dropper and a water channel going up. And what's going to happen is we're going to take all these resources like we have here. Let's take this soapstone for instance. And when you throw it in here and then go up this way, it gets sent up here into this water channel and is currently being put into this hopper. And so what this is going to do is this is going to connect to a warehouse here that we're going to build and make it really easy when we gather materials down in the mine to transfer them up here. I believe in one of the earlier clips I might have said that we're going to create that warehouse today, but when I said that, what I had in mind was a pretty small warehouse, and since then I've realized that we're probably going to need a bit more space for that, so we're going to take care of that next episode. But I think that we got quite a bit of work done in this episode. We built the honey farm and the house accompanying it. We've transformed the quarry and are making some great steps forward. In the next episode, we're going to keep doing some automation, keep making some progress, and keep working on our rice paddy village. So I'm really excited. Thank you again for joining me. Sorry for the little mishap at the end with the death. That was a little unexpected, but I really appreciate you watching and commenting and suggesting any changes you'd like to see. So with that said, have a truly wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!